Hello and a good evening to you. Hey, my name is Yafoda Tobra, otherwise known as Auntie Ya. I welcome you to Auntie Ya's Book Corner. And it's Tuesday today, so it's Practical Nyamesem. Yes, Practical Nyamesem is for myself being a believer. I kind of was looking at myself, where I come from, and just the way we interpret the scriptures and all that. So I come and just share from my perspective that, you know, if we would really apply the word of God as it is, I am sure that our lives would be different, but it would seem that sometimes we take it the wrong way. So I just come and share my insights, and sometimes I do it from a humorous perspective as well, but you get the gist of what I'm trying to say. So before we carry on, I'm going to read a little bit from my first book, The Reflections of a Thirsty Soul. The beauty of a woman's heart is what you saw in the clip, and let me do some promos before we go ahead. So with this book, there will be a book launch on Saturday, July 24th at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time and 3 p.m. Eastern. So I will be putting the flyers out once they become available, okay? So please mark that date. And also, if you are reading the book, do write me up a review on Amazon. I'd really appreciate it. So for today, well, I'll read my oh, hello, good evening, Elizabeth. How are you? I hope that you are doing well. So let me see. I'm just going to read from page 108 of Reflections for a Thirsty Soul. It says, moving from Mount Horeb to the next level. It kind of ties in with what we're dealing with today. So life is a process of constant growth and renewal. Growth is an absolute necessity in life. It is always important to look at where you have been and where you are going. Otherwise, you'll be reduced to a life of mediocrity and unfruitfulness. It is true that we sometimes get stuck in a rut because of the limitations that we have placed on ourselves, or because others have placed us in a box of their making and not ours. We accept these perceptions and internalize them and allow them to rule us. So I'll leave it there. And what I'm going to do right now is bear with me as I share two groups, and then we'll come back and start today's program. So I have a few groups that I share to, so it will take me a little bit. It's very sunny out here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada today. 30 degrees. Makes me feel like I'm back home in Ghana, but sadly, when you've lived in the cold for so long, your body becomes used to, your body, you get acclimatized to the weather. So for me, I'm finding that anything up to, I think max that I'll give is 27, but I say 25, I'm okay with it. The 30 and 33s and that, I can't do it anymore. Yeah, it seems too much, but hey, what can you do? So now when you go home to visit, then you are sweating like a, a fish. You have to do all kinds of things just to keep cool. Yeah. And people think that probably you are putting on an act, but they don't realize that you've come from a cooler place and your body has adjusted to that climate. Let's see. Okay. I think I have 3 or 4 more to go. Ladies of virtue. She wins. Okay, well. There we go. And then, let's see. Yeah, everybody is getting ready for the, what do you call it? Pretty soon we'll no longer be in a lockdown. So I think people are extremely excited, but a bit hesitant. I mean, you got to be cautious too, eh? But we're glad that we'll see what happens. At the end of it all, we just have to leave God in control. Oh, yeah, I think that, let me see, one more person and then we can start. Sometimes I can't spell. Oh, goodness. Okay, so let's get this show on the road because, as usual, I'm a busy woman. I think I have to be on another program for 6. So, yes, today we are here to do practical Nyamesem. And so the title is To Stay or to Get Out of the Boat. My pastor preached a sermon 2 Sundays ago. This is based on Matthew chapter 14 going. But so it got me thinking, Peter's story when Jesus was coming towards them in the boat and they thought it was a ghost, and he was the only brave one to say, hey, let me come out to you. So it got me thinking, right? When you think about a boat, it's almost like we're very comfortable with our lives and how we do things, right? And are we able to sometimes look at ourselves and say, hey, is this the best that I can do? Could I be doing more? What is the next level? Or you want to just stay in your comfort zone? So those are some of the things. That's my introduction. So the questions that I ask because of what I just said is, are you a risk taker? Or are you averse to risk? There are people who are very bold. They'll go, there can be extremes. Like you can be a risk taker and be rash. You take hasty decisions and you lose money. Let's say it's a business you're trying to do, you lose money and stuff like that, right? And then there's those ones that they won't take any risk at all. They won't. They are just so fearful. They will not do it. Hello, Missy. Welcome. I hope you are having a great day. Nice to see you again. So, do you embrace change or do you shy away from it? The answers that you give will determine the direction that your life will take. When I'm saying it, it seems like I've just put it out there, but you just think about it. Awesome. Good for you. Because you need to. You can't just be in one place or stay the same. You need to explore and see what is out there, right? So if you're afraid of taking risks, then there's a tendency that you'll stagnate. Like, who wants to stay the same, do things the same way every time? It's kind of boring, right? So risk-taking involves challenges. And that is what will push you or propel you to the next level. But some of us, we tend to give up so easy. When you look at us and where we are from, we are not a people. It's part of our training and how we were trained. So we tend to be timid and we tend to be fearful. Broadly speaking, it's not everybody. Yes, Missy says, grow good. Because it helps you to grow. It's always good to look at something different, do something different. You learn something new, right? You are not fixed. You want to grow. So we are going to look at some case scenarios from the Bible just to explain what I'm talking about. Again, the title today is To Stay or Get Out of the Boat. And I explained that the boat means your comfort zone. You're comfortable. Maybe the boat is this big and you can move a little to this side, move a little to that side, but you've never really thought about getting out of it to do something new. So the first person that we encounter in the Bible is blind Bartimaeus. This is why I say the reason I do practical Nyamesem is that the Bible, we can't just read it like that. We have to apply it to our life. And maybe we are reading it like a story, but look at what happened to him. He was a beggar sitting by the roadside. And Jesus was on his way to Jericho with his disciples. There was a large crowd. And he's sitting there just shouting. When he heard Jesus was coming, he kept shouting. He was shouting, Jesus, Son of David, have pity on me. He kept shouting, Jesus, Son of David, have pity on me. Many people told him, stop the noise, be quiet, be quiet. It's just like you've gone to a program and then they said some big hotshot or somebody from our country is coming. And we are trying to, hey, the way people shut you up, oh, you can't go there. This is the so and so, kokoti, pomposity. Oh, he doesn't know. even the people surrounding, the PR people surrounding that dignitary, the way they will behave to you, is more than how the dignitary himself will treat you. Until maybe you say, oh, I have an important issue. I'd spoken to him a month ago. He had said he would be coming by so I could come. No. Then this person will be wagging their finger at you, but then you push and you persist. So they finally go talk to the dignitary, and the dignitary said it's okay. And then that person says, oh, come, he wants to talk to you. So this is exactly what happened to blind Bartimaeus. He kept shouting. He shouted louder, Son of David, have pity on me. So Jesus called him over. And this is what my observation, I said, the same people who were telling him, shut up, be quiet, they now said, oh, come over. Jesus is calling you. So in this first scenario, I asked the question, so what if Bartimaeus had been a coward and fearful of people's opinions and not spoken up? How many times have we, kept our opinions to ourselves because we're afraid of what people will say? And yet, maybe that one time, like this example I gave of this person wanting to speak to a particular dignitary, maybe there's an opening. It's just a slight window that's opening. Now, he didn't take that risk to go. That's a missed opportunity. He would be done. Think about it. How many of us are stuck in our comfort zone, in our boats, because we care so much about people's opinions? Blind Bartimaeus, a beggar, he didn't keep quiet. Yes. And I say that he got out of the boat because he had faith. He was bold and he was persistent. When they told him to shut up the first time, he didn't shut up, no. So because of these traits, and most of all because of his faith, he got his healing. Now, if you've gone to church, you've heard so many times, blind Bartimaeus, this, that. Have you dug behind the story to see what you can learn from it? He was a persistent person, a beggar. And where we come from, you know how we look down on people. Oh, this poor person, what do they want? Oh, let them go away. But he didn't let that deter him. So he got his healing. Okay, so the second one that we're going to look at is the case of the 4 lepers. It may seem like an insignificant story, but you can find it in 2 Kings chapter 7. And so during this time, there was a great famine in the land because the king of Samaria had laid siege to the people of Israel. So food was so expensive. There was hunger in the land. And these 4 lepers, hello, Miss Sage, welcome. Good day to you. Good evening. These lepers were sitting at the city gates. So outside of the city, and when you think about lepers, I don't think any of us has been to a lepers colony. They are the outcasts. Their conditions makes them outcasts and untouchables. But they were sitting there. They were not welcome in the city because of their condition, obviously. But they were sitting there and they said, they were dying of hunger. Would they rather sit outside the city and die of hunger? They are going to go inside there. Because they know that if even food was discovered in the famine, if food was discovered, because of their condition, they'll be the last. They'll be the last people to get the food. Because they are the lowest amongst the people. So they made a decision and went in there. So when they came to the edge of the Syrian camp, because the king of Syria is the one who had laid siege to their land, to their surprise, they found out that the camp was empty. There were no men there, but there were supplies there. They were surprised because they said, what happened here? So they sat down. Like, imagine if you've been hungry for a long time and you go and you see this Adriani food all around. They sat there and they chopped and they quaffed what they could. And then they figured that they had to do their civic duty. Because they can't sit there. What had happened is these Syrian army, what God did is in the middle of the night, they heard the sound of chariots, gigi, like they were being attacked by another group of people until fear overcame them till they ran. They ran off. Until they ran off and left all their supplies. So the lepers, after they had eaten, they went to the gatekeepers, like I was saying, and told them what they had discovered. Say, there's food and supplies and all, and nobody there. Let's look at these lepers. Look at their status in the society. They were the longest. If I put a ladder up right now, they are the lowest rank, a leper. Who are you? Like you are contagious. People, just the way people look at you, who are you? And so you see how God works in mysterious ways. Say we can't sit there as human beings in our own arrogance and look at another human being and write them off, because you don't know who God will use to come and help you. And if you disdain a human being, you know that one day, your breakthrough will walk away. You know it, and that might be it for you. And these are some important lessons. Christosum is not just dressing up and going to church and looking shepherd. When we are reading the Bible, we have to really make sure that we are understanding it and applying it to our lives. And like, look at these people. They could have sat there, right, because of their status, but they were emboldened. They took action about their plight, what they were going through. They figured they were starving and they just couldn't continue to sit there. Well, and again, I asked the question, has the opinions of people stopped you? The leper, just like the leper, we will sing a different song. Oh, I'm from a poor background, so I can't do it. Nobody regards me. Oh, I don't have money. Oh, I'm not from a rich family. Oh, I can't do this. I'm not good enough. And then we put ourselves down. But the lepers, they saved a nation. Yeah. So I'm going to the third and final scenario. As I said earlier, this whole thing was based on John, I can say Matthew chapter 14. Peter, the boat situation, to stay or to get out of the boat. And I said that the boat or your boat is your comfort zone. So where's Adwoa? When she watches this later, she was the one time we're talking about I think it's in my reflections book. I think I have the same topic in both books, Dare to Dream, and I was talking about a box. Don't let anybody put you in a box. And she said, box, no, it has 4 corners. You can go here, you can go whichever way, but you need to get out of it. This guy was in a boat. What had happened is, after Jesus fed the 5,000, he sent them off in the boat to go to the other side. And he went onto a mountain to go and pray. So when he finished praying, he came down. By that time, the boat was in the middle of the water, and it was being tossed about by, winds, serious winds. Yeah. And so what Jesus did is that he started to walk towards them. And when the disciples saw him, they thought that they were seeing a ghost. So he told them not to be afraid. Like, the winds were serious winds. But Peter, good old Peter, Peter is a daredevil. He told Jesus that, if it is you, Lord, command me to come to you on the water. And he got out and he started walking towards Jesus. But the water was like, the waves were boisterous, until he became afraid. He began to sink. And then he cried out to Jesus to save him. Now, for the rest of the story, you can read Matthew chapter 14. I think it's in the middle somewhere. But what I'm trying to say is that before we start giving Peter a bad rap, think about it. He was the only one who had the audacity. Yeah. Anything that Barack Obama has written, the audacity of hope. He was the only one who had the audacity to say, oh, if it's you, like me and you, if the waves are tossing, the boat is tossing around, now you see Jesus coming, you open your mouth and say, oh, if it is you, let me come out to you. So the rest, they were sitting in a boat, quiet, and that's what people expect us to be, to stay in the boat, be quiet and be timid, especially with the women, because, oh, this is how a woman is supposed to be. And if you go and do this, they will say you are that. If you go and do, I can't do this, because this is what people will say. So Peter, he was bold. We know Peter, he was bold. He is brazen. I don't care, he will do it. So he went out. And for us, we can't call him a coward. He attempted and he started to sink. What about those who sat in there and didn't try at all? And we meet a lot of people like that in our lives because they will tell you the reasons why you shouldn't do something. And most of these people are our family members or people close to us. Oh, that thing, it won't work. You can't do it. You are just wasting your time. Who has done it before in this family? You hear all kinds of stories and then you give up. So, hey. Okay, so we'll come back and continue. Let me take a commercial break. And we have to sell books. Hang on, give me a sec here. So we're back. The book again is The Beauty of a Woman's Heart, and you can find it on Amazon Canada, Amazon US, France, Italy, Spain, and Germany, and also on Innovi Books. And as I said at the beginning of the program, if I can bring it up, the book launch is on July 24th. Saturday, July 24th at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. There'll be more details to follow. I'll be putting the flyers out once they are ready. So do join me that day. And also, if you are reading the book, please write me up a review on Amazon. I'd really appreciate that. And the other book is, let's see. Well, I have it here if I can pull it up. There it is. Reflections for a Thirsty Soul. So this page was originally called Reflections for a Thirsty Soul. And then this book came along. So I decided in advance of the book launch that is coming, we did a rebranding. So the page is now Auntie YAA'S Book Corner. Every other Tuesday, I do Practical Nyamesem. And on Thursdays, I do Auntie YAA'S, reading nook, just sharing some short stories from The Beauty of a Woman's Heart. And I'll be doing that up until the book launch on the 24th. After that, every tongue twisting, every Thursday, I'll be alternating. I'll be doing Reflections for a Thirsty Soul. The next week, I'll do Beauty of a Woman's Heart. And on Sunday, we do Auntie YAA'S Cozy Book Chat. And I come here with Mrs. YAA Boatman Russell, and we share from the book and do a discussion. So back to what we were talking about today. Let me pull up the banner. So again, it's to stay or to get out of the boat. Where are my notes? So I was talking about Peter and how he got out of the boat. So instead of us calling Peter a coward, we need to applaud him because at least he took the challenge. A lot of us stop ourselves. We stop ourselves because we don't have confidence or because we are so worried about people's opinions. You see, he took a big risk. He encountered some difficulties, but at least he attempted and got out of the boat. Are you still stuck in your boat? is my question for you. What is it that you want to do that you've been stopping yourself from doing? Is it that hard? You know, sometimes we think that we look at something we want to do and we look at it in its whole entirety, the big picture, instead of maybe if you take a piece of it, chop it in pieces and take one little piece you can do at a time, you can start that way. But for goodness sake, don't stop yourself, you know. This sounds cliche and we've said it many times. Life is the real deal. It is not, there's no dress rehearsal. This is it. So do what you have to and start it now. Yes. So yeah, what about the other disciples? They stayed in the boat, in their comfort zone. We have an expression that says, nothing ventured, nothing gained. And such is life. If you don't venture out, you're not going to gain anything. You have to try. Be willing to try. Like get some courage. Be willing to try. Yes. Yeah, I'll conclude with this. You must be willing to take some risks in trying to achieve your goals. Yeah. What are some of the things that kills our goals or our dreams? Our attitude. Oh, as for me, I can't do it. Oh, I don't know. What will my friends say? They will laugh at me. Oh, my wife will not agree. Oh, my husband won't let me do it. Oh, my children. And then we make excuses. But you know what? Everybody that we see or meet in life, they are supposed to be doing something. Even if they are not, technically, God has brought you on this earth. There's something to benefit somebody. And you are sitting around wasting your time watching people and what they will see or what they will think. At the end of the day, do they feed you? Do they pay your bills? So why are you so afraid of them? Yes. So your attitude, maybe you have this I don't care attitude, is not hit you that you could be doing something more, right? So your thing is, Ajoanie, thank you. You know, fear. There's too much. We are too fearful. We are too fearful. We are afraid of everything. We can't speak up when the truth is staring us in the face, but we don't want to accept it. Would rather take lies. And all this affects us because maybe there's somebody who's standing in the way of your progress. And if you're able to open your mouth and say that one thing to them that, hey, how is it that you should, well, how is it that you are standing in my way? Why aren't you allowing me this opportunity? Even in workplace situations, when things are going on, we are too afraid to speak up because we are not bold. The people who are bold, we call them names. Yeah, we've labeled them, but at least they'll ask, like Peter, he got out of the boat when he started sinking. Yeah, I'll ask the question. When you explain to me, maybe I might not get that promotion or whatever it is that I want, but it will make sense to me. I won't go back and sit in the boat, but I'd rather say, okay, what else could I do? Readjust. Maybe they'll tell you that, oh, you need these extra skills to be able to do this. And you tell yourself, okay, good, you've told me, maybe I need to start working on it. In workplaces too, they have training. If you go through the course catalog and you pick your 10, you start taking your courses and you upgrade your resume. Next time something along those lines comes, they'll go, oh, we see they've made the effort to such and such and such. Bam, you are in. They won't screen you out that you don't have the skill set they are asking for. That is how we do life. But don't just sit there and be sitting in the boat. Miss Sage says, once you try to get out of the box, once you're out of the box, you wouldn't want to get in again. Thank you. That's exactly what it is. So lack of willpower. Sometimes we make the decision to try things, but we give up. You see, you have to have a persevering spirit. For me, in one of, I don't know, I think maybe it's in The Beauty of a Woman's Heart. There was something that I wrote for International Women's Day, and there were 3 or 4 groups of women that I was talking to and giving them awards. My thing that I say you have to have tenacity, grit, and nerves of steel. Sometimes people, me in my life, this is what I've realized. There's things that are supposed to be for you, and you don't get it because they think somebody else is better and they should get it. Yeah, because the way you do things, maybe people don't like it, or they are scared of you, or they feel threatened because they can't do, I don't know, right? But what they don't realize, that they don't know what is inside you. I describe myself, I tell my kids I'm the energizer battery that one, so I keep going and going and going. Look, if you can tell me that I'm not good enough, I can't do this, and I say it's not your opinion. It's me telling myself that I need to push, and I will push, and I'll do that thing that I have to do. Don't let anybody stop you. The only thing that should stop you is that whatever you're doing, if it's going to be harmful to somebody and hurt somebody, then obviously you shouldn't be doing it. But make up your mind that you are going to do what you have to do. You need to do it for yourself. If not for yourself, Korana, there are people watching you. It could be your kids, it could be the younger generation, whoever. You are an example to somebody. If you don't know, somebody is waiting to see what you can do, so they also follow in your steps. So why don't you get going? Yeah. And then too, we have this average mentality. Oh, as for me, I'm not smart. As for me, in our house, we don't do those things. Yes. Oh, I only went to this level, so I can't do whatever. Are you serious? Are you serious? Yeah. Yeah. Like me, that I'm sitting here, I didn't know how to braid hair and this and that, but I have two girls, and I had to learn to, not that I'll do cornrow extensions, but I had to do the nice mesa on their heads and put little whatever, and it keep neat, or go pay somebody to do it for them. You know what has happened now in this generation, that there's YouTubes and this and that. You can open it and be learning. My two girls, since COVID came, I don't know whether it was this year or whenever, I haven't seen them go out to get their hair braided by anybody. The younger one braids the older one's hair. They can both braid their hair by themselves because they learned it on YouTube. And I'm looking at them and I smile. I said, you are doing better than I did. Guess what? When you have children and you have girls, all you need to do is go to the store and buy the hair, whatever. No? You are not going to pay anybody $100 or $200 or whatever they are paying these days to do their hair. We challenge ourselves. The average. Let's stop saying the average. Look, over here we have I forget what it's called, but it's like just there's places, that general courses. There's a name for it. I'm sure you have some too where you live. They bring out their flyers, and you can take courses, cooking classes, learning how to fix a tire, languages, all kinds of things, photography, what have you. The way they are, they learn things just, I'm going to go do this, and they'll do it. Some of us are like that, but on the main, we don't have the adventurous spirit to push and get out of a boat and say, I didn't do this, but let me go try it. Give yourself that chance. The average mentality, no, stop. Read. There right now, you can learn anything on YouTube. You just have to Google it and put in how to do this, or whatever it is, whichever people that you follow. There's all kinds of information out there. So, yeah. And then also lack of focus is what stops us. We don't have a focus. So we're just drifting around. As Joe Santia said, a schoolmate of mine from elementary just bought my book, and she came and put on Facebook that you must not drift through life. So I started laughing because I said, yeah, Joe likes that. Don't just drift through life or do something. You only have one chance. So, like I'm saying, I'll end with this. Be willing to put yourself on the line. Get out there and just do it. As for me, I live by just do it. Instead of sitting there and being afraid, I say just do it. Yes. Bishop, have you been on long, or do you have to go to the beginning? So, yeah, I am done. I came here to tell you, let me bring this up again, to stay or get out of the boat. Don't limit yourself. Just keep pushing yourself. You don't have to set, sometimes if you set too big goals, it's too extreme and you can't reach it, break it up and be happy with yourself as you go along. Yeah, because people can say all kinds of things. Me, if I'd given up, I wouldn't be doing what I was doing. Apparently, Crown is like I could have been doing more, but I thank God that I came to my senses early, because I've been put in a box. You can't do this, you can't do that. You are not allowed to be. Yeah. And so you sit in certain places and then they are sitting on you. They are sitting on you. You need to find yourself, get out, be yourself, own yourself, put your best foot forward and do what you have to do. Never give up. Peter got out of the boat. He encountered challenges. That is life. Nobody said life was rosy. You see, as the way we worship God, we always feel like everything should come so easy. No, the struggles are there, but he says he's with you. Until when you meet the first, you okay, you go back, you are disappointed, you are dejected, you feel rejected. Oh, what did I do wrong? What can I do? But you just tell yourself, okay, let me regroup. You don't give up and you keep going. A lot of us have given up on our dreams. That's why they say the cemetery is full of talent. Yeah, do yours now, please. Okay. So I thank you. Oh, let me see. I guess I'm missing the comments here. Bishop, you said we have to do this topic again, getting out of the boat. Yo, we'll see. Call Ajua and then we'll come and talk. And there's Ajua. He said, greetings and more grace to you. Okay, thank you. Ajua, here we go. To just beginning. Thank you so much for joining me. Miss Elizabeth Palmer, yes. Bishop, Miss Sage, Missy, and anybody else who is on. If I've missed you, I thank you so much. This was another edition of Practical Nyamesem. I love doing Practical Nyamesem because I can come and say whatever I like. It's not like when I was sitting in. I have to laugh at this when I say it. The people who know me are here. They'll think I'm making dicks, but it's not the same environment as when I was sitting in a church on a prayer line and I'm being told that I'm blasting people. Meanwhile, I was taking it from the word of God. So this one here is a free zone. I've read my scriptures. I've come and talked. We've learned something. Yeah, I got out of the boat. So I'm free to come and talk and do what I want. That's what gives me joy. So you do yours too. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Love you. See you Thursday. We'll be back with Auntie YAA'S reading nook. Take care of yourselves, okay? Bye-bye.